Hello, it is the weekend preview. That means it's 3 o'clock on
Woo!
a Friday afternoon, and we've got the
Right, yay.
whole
Oops,
gang
where am
back
I?
together again.
They put us in a three shot, and like you saw half of my face. I think my camera's a little wonked.
There you
Should we
go.
turn it a little bit?
See,
Sorry,
that's
Murray.
how
Is
we're getting started there.
Uh-oh.
Get it straightened up a little
There you
bit.
go.
that better?
All right.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
Hip hip hooray.
Welcome to the Plus, everybody.
Yeah.
Friday.
And for the first time in 3 weeks, we're all together. We got
Yes.
Mark and Sarah and Murray and myself getting ready to preview Mother's Day weekend. Happy
Got the
Mother's
whole
Day
crew.
before we
Thank
go any
you.
further.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I appreciate it. It's going to be great.
It's going to be an awesome Mother's
Yeah.
Day weather-wise
For
as
the most
well,
part, it
Mark.
is. You may see a few clouds here and there. And I was saying earlier today, Murray is on a roll today. I don't know if you noticed.
He is.
He's
He's
on a
not
roll
kidding.
every day.
Fact, we took off ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we're
yeah,
definitely going to land ahead of schedule. He's like, let's
Yeah.
go, let's go.
Yep.
Mic check, mic check.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
hurry up. Get
well, like a few weeks in, you kind of get some practice at this. The first time, we probably ended up with 7 minutes maybe of actual fun.
I
We're
think
getting there.
I think we left somebody behind now.
Yeah,
you
we,
ready for a nice
we left
weekend?
Jared behind because he
There.
did the first one of these.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, we are.
We're ready for a
and
great
I know
weekend.
there's a lot of events we're going to run down, some inside, some outside, and certainly we want Sunday to be perfect.
I think it will be for the most part. Basically, a slight chance of a shower late in the day. But you know what? Let's talk about tonight and tomorrow because here's our forecast. We cleared out just as predicted yesterday for the afternoon. Beautiful day. And as we go through tonight, we're holding on to partly cloudy skies. You'll advance that once for Sarah Murray. You see how we see the clouds going on by the wayside. But notice what's happening down to our south. These clouds and moisture starting to advance back to the north. So as a result, Saturday partly cloudy. Watch what happens as we go into Sunday, though. That moisture tries to sneak in. That's why I've got a 20% chance of a shower. As you look at Sunday there, most of that's going into the Carolinas, but I do believe we'll see an increase in clouds. And then showers and thunderstorms start coming back on Monday. So that's why I say get out and enjoy the weekend because rain's coming all next week, each and every day. Just what you want to hear, right? Look at these highs.
Hooray.
Highs tomorrow in the 70s, partly cloudy sky. How about your Mother's Day? Again, you'll see clouds on the increase. I do have a 20% chance of a late day shower, but high temperatures, it looks cooler on that map. We're going to see a high right about 75 degrees. Here is the big change, though, as you go into the night tonight down to 42. So a chilly night tonight. Tomorrow, we're back into the low 70s. You'll see a partly cloudy sky. Should be a nice day. But look at our 7-day forecast. Showers and thunderstorms each and every day
Oh,
next
wow.
week. Yeah, high
Gross.
temperatures staying in the 70s. But there's the good news. We're going back to the 80s. That's not
Okay.
bad as we go through the end of the period. Overnight lows back in the 50s. That'll be good news. We're not that far from hurricane season, believe it or not, June 1st. It's hard to
Oh,
believe.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple
Already.
weeks away, and I know a lot of meteorologists across the country already talking. We've been looking at some of the water temperatures, very warm. So, I wouldn't be surprised we see maybe something pop, especially in the Pacific Ocean. We'll watch that carefully.
Has there been a forecast of a busy hurricane season yet, or do we
There's
know?
some, but I haven't seen the whole stats yet, but we'll
Okay.
get that shortly.
I was just
Nonetheless,
curious.
the water temperatures are getting warmer. That's what you have to worry yourself with, especially the Caribbean and the Pacific. So let's hope it stays quiet.
See, when I go to the beach, I root for the warm water temperatures.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
I
Anything
never
over
thought
80.
about the consequence of severe weather.
Yeah,
I just
and
know that I didn't want to freeze when I got there. The boogie board.
Smart.
Do my boogie board.
Smart.
We need to see video of that, don't we?
Oh, I would pay money to see that. And we have an inside connection with Julie, his wife.
There
So,
you go. We
Julie,
get video.
Yeah. Home,
You'd be,
home
need some
video
video.
of the book.
you'd be on the boogie board.
board,
very
no,
over
thank
there
you.
Fishing in the ocean.
oh
Or
yeah.
plus, the plus crowd, they're not ready for that yet.
I don't know. Maybe that will get more people to get on the plus.
You never
We
know.
shall see. We are in regional softball. We've been kind
Yes.
of on softball watch. Sarah's daughter
Yeah.
and my daughter both staying alive in the
So
Tennessee
far.
State softball tournament. We're into regionals next week.
Yep.
That forecast looks like it might be tough to get some softball.
It might be, especially early part of the week. I think that'll be our better rain chance. All that moisture you saw there in the south, it's coming north. So as a result, we're going to see a better chance of showers and storms.
And
For
that's
those-
when Science Hill plays
Yeah.
is
Well,
Monday.
And here's
Yes.
the thing. For those of you who are watching, you need to see these two behind the scenes. It's
What?
like you're constantly watching the games.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
We are totally normal,
Locked in.
professional people,
Locked in.
focused on a
Yeah,
Friday.
Those
Yeah.
those 4:30, 5:30 starts. Sometimes it gets in the way.
It does.
The news gets in the way of the news of the
That's-
day.
I don't think anything could get in the way of Sarah cheering for her kids.
I
know.
Got any sort of
Luckily-
live broadcast up there, and we all know what the score is.
I know. With the magic of technology, we get to at least keep track of the game with our phones.
Yeah, that's good.
And so, which is great because obviously we have to be here as well. So, so you'll hear a yes or a oh no, or something.
Take my phone. Take my phone.
I know that's what I know. I'm like Casey. I've just looked because I'm not gonna look at.
Sometimes
the
she gives me the phone, and I've got to wait for. And then I'm like, I don't know how to react to this. This is not good.
How am I
This
going
is
to tell her
great.
this? Yeah,
They get like
Oh,
when
that's
Casey's
fun.
got his head in his hands.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole time. Well, Mark, I appreciate you. Thanks for the good
Yes.
Thank you,
weekend
Mark.
weather. Let's not worry about Monday just yet. How about
Yes.
that? Let's
Enjoy the
celebrate the weekend, and we're going to
And
Absolutely.
happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Yes.
Hope
Thank
it's a
you.
nice one for you.
Well, perfect. Mark,
Yep.
we'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, as Sarah Marie and myself will take a look at some of the many events going on this Mother's Day weekend. This is the weekend preview on WJHL Plus. And welcome back. This is the weekend preview on WJHL Plus. I'm Casey Marler alongside Sarah Diamond.
Hello, happy Friday. Welcome to the Plus on
Yes.
this Friday.
Yeah.
We're glad to be here.
Ahead of Mother's Day weekend.
Yes, it is.
Marie Lee on the controls again
Hey,
this
Marie.
weekend.
Everybody.
All right, Mother's Day. We've got a full list of events. Never enough events.
Yeah.
But let's start with event, the Mother's Day in Jonesboro.
Yeah.
It looks like all kinds of fun events there.
Yeah, the freshly brewed and bloomed the Mother's Day stroll in Jonesboro. And this is cool because there are a lot of different activities that you can do. You could just take a stroll through Jonesboro, which is magical as it is. There's a candle pouring workshop, so you can make a candle with your mom. You can build your own floral bouquet. The Eureka Inn is holding tours as well, and free coffee and tea from the Corner Company. So you can't beat that. And that's from 10 to 1 on Saturday.
Always a great time when you go to Jonesboro, and they
Yes.
will roll out their red carpet again in Tennessee's oldest town for that. On Saturday, Bring Mom to Market going on in Johnson City. That's
Yes.
right downtown. And that's at the farmers market tomorrow. Also, that's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So get up and get an early start at the farmers market.
Yeah, it's opening day for the farmers market in Johnson City. And if you've never been to a farmers market, much less the Johnson City farmers market, definitely something you need to do. They have such great produce and crafts and different things that people sell. I know there's bread. There's a certain bread. You got to get a sourdough, a big wheel of sourdough, things like that. It's a perfect place to go with mom. There's also the Mother's Day Boutique Bash. And this is in downtown Kingsport. There are a bunch of really neat Kingsport boutiques in the downtown area. And Saturday from 10 to 4, you can go kind of stroll down downtown Kingsport and go to these boutiques with your mom or your special woman in your life.
You see the variety of
Oh, I
different
know.
events,
I love
and
it.
every town putting their little unique spin
Yep.
on Mother's Day, and you can't lose in any direction
That's true.
that you go when you're looking for a Mother's Day event. So far we've covered events in Jonesboro, Johnson City,
Yep.
Kingsport, also things to do in other parts of the community as well as we continue our list of Mother's Day happenings.
There's the Tennessee Plant Show, which is also in Johnson City, which I probably need to go to because I need to learn a thing or two about plants and flora and fauna, and more importantly, keeping them alive.
Mark does his best. Mark's our resident
know.
green thumb
He is
at the
amazing.
studio, and
Yes.
we come to him with our issues. And after he kind of laughs it off a little bit,
Yeah.
he starts to give us some ideas on how we can do better.
Yes.
Oh, what's the opposite of the green thumb?
Black? That's what I have.
Yeah.
I have a
Three
black
for
thumb.
three.
Yeah, then that's all three of us then because
Yeah.
we're big fake plant people.
Yeah.
We really love those for the indoors because I don't know if we're overwatering or underwatering putting them in the wrong spot.
Both.
We can't keep them alive for nothing.
Yeah, I definitely have the black thumb. I'm the Grim Reaper. I am part of the plant hospice. I
That's where good
tend
plants
to them until they go me Jesus. That's my job as a human being. with plants.
The terrarium store sees Sarah walking, and they start rolling the crate down.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Exactly.
bring
They're
the
like, don't let
shades,
her
lock
touch
the
them.
door.
Don't let her breathe on them. I know. But at this place, you can have indoor and outdoor plants. You can take a look at those. They have cocktails. They have handcrafted goods. And that is going on from noon to 6 at the Holiday Inn in Johnson City on Springbrook Drive. So that's a neat little idea.
So what are you guys getting in terms of Mother's Day gifts for your own moms?
We usually just spend time. My mother is really difficult to shop for. She would rather just be with her family. And so a good meal together is usually what we do, and time together. That's usually what we do. So, and I don't know about Julie, what you.
Yeah, pretty simple. We'll go have a lunch together, but the same, just very laid back.
Yes.
Not doing a whole lot of tending to the family is the greatest gift that we can give
Thank
her.
you for saying that out loud.
And
Yes.
Sarah, yeah, and I'm super excited. Your family, what an exciting Mother's Day for your family this weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome
It's
with
gonna be
everybody
great.
together.
Yep.
So, yeah, so that's Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to everyone. No matter what your plans are, get out, enjoy, and we'll celebrate Mom on Sunday.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait Sunday to have a big time in Jonesboro. Music on the Square
Oh.
returning.
So much fun.
And that is a summertime staple in Tennessee's oldest town. If you've
Mhm.
never been, it's a must. If you can't make it every week, certainly make it at least a week. And why not tonight? The Martha Spencer, Mr. Taco, Dorado food trucks will be there. It's from 7 to 8. It's right in the heart of historic Jonesboro on Main Street. They shut the street down. You bring your lawn chair,
Hmm.
bring a blanket, and they play music right there on the courthouse stairs. It's about as old-time, small town as you can get. And this is
Yes.
the first of many concerts throughout the summer.
Yeah,
Perfect
they keep
backdrop.
this going for months, don't they?
They do, as long as they
Yep.
can, almost up until the Storytelling Festival in October.
Yeah.
So it's just about every weekend, and it's just really simple night of toe tapping. Great music, variety over the course of the summer,
Mhm.
and tonight that is the first one there from 7 to 9 o'clock in Jonesboro.
Yeah. The town of Unicoi is also doing a cool cruise in, and they're starting this, and these are going to be on Friday. So tonight is the first one. It's going to be from 5:30 to 7:30. Different cars you can go look at. These cruise-ins are so much fun because you get to see amazing cars that are so well taken care of. And you get to talk to the owners and ask them questions about, how they restored them or, anything like that. And food trucks are going to be there, like I said, and these will be every Friday from 5:30 to 7:30, and that's at Unicoi Village Place in Unicoi. The cruise-ins have started, so that's a sure sign of spring and the good weather.
Yeah, a lot of family history with a lot of those hot
Oh, yeah.
rods, or perhaps they'd love to tell you how they restored them.
Yep.
Found it in a field.
Yeah.
Found it in a field. It was nothing.
It was rust. It was full of rust.
And look at it now, and the camaraderie there. And I've brought it up before, but it was after I had moved away.
I was
But
about
my
to say.
family was big into hot rods, and
Oh,
my dad
yeah.
had all kinds of cars that they like to go and show. And
I was about to
it's
say,
so
you
much
gonna
fun.
break something out of storage? I know you got something.
I've got the old 1967 Austin Healey Sprite isn't going anywhere.
Oh,
Okay,
not
It's
yet.
deep in the
Not
garage.
yet.
Not yet. Because I lack the resources, I lack the knowledge and know-how, but I've got the car.
Tell you what,
That's all that matters. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
You got the car.
You got to go deep into the bowels of the garage to see the Marlar car family history.
Oh.
But it's there.
I can't wait.
can you
to see
imagine
that.
how great of that would be great for this show? We do a weekly check-in and we do a little time lapse of all the work on the car.
yeah.
Yeah, it would
That'd
wouldn't be a
the
very
motivation.
long segment.
Right now, Maybe if others like
So,
contributed,
yeah,
maybe you should start a GoFundMe or
yeah,
something.
maybe they're doing the work under the hood. No, but yeah. So back to the cruise, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
the same. It looks well. If it's any consolation, it's looked the same since about 1970.
That's good. It hasn't gotten any worse.
It hasn't gotten
That's good.
worse. That's exactly right. It doesn't get out into the elements very much. Kingsport Junction Food Truck Lot open up this weekend. It started at noon today at 134 Cherokee Street in Kingsport. So the food trucks stay so busy, such a wide variety, and they're in Kingsport for that today.
Yes.
We've been talking actually, me and Terry Craig, we've been saying we need to have since, we did the Tri-Cities Best food truck, and it was the winner back then when we first did it was Alley Cat. But Alley Cat is not a food truck anymore.
Yeah, it's a brick and mortar.
Yeah, they're brick and mortar now.
Yeah.
So we were thinking maybe we give someone else a shot at the title.
There you go.
See about maybe seeing if there's another food truck that wants to claim that.
There you go. Something
It's
else.
a launching pad.
Yeah, it really is. It could be. We're going to make it a launching pad. Ready or not. So something else that's going on is the letter carrier food drive. And this is something that the United States Postal Service has been doing for years now. What you do is super easy. Go in your pantry, get some non-perishable food, throw it in a bag, and leave it out by your mailbox. And then Saturday, your letter carrier will pick it up, and they will take all of those donations from people from their routes, however you want to say it, and they will donate it to Second Harvest Food Bank. This is such an easy way to help Second Harvest. The letter carriers, they work hard as it is, but they are going to work even harder on this Saturday, taking those extra bags and giving them to Second Harvest Food Bank. Food insecurity, a big deal in our region, and this goes so far to help. And easy way to clean out your pantry. Say, you know what? We've got 6 cans of corn. Okay.
We only need one.
Okay, maybe 2. Maybe 2. So that's an easy way. Throw in a bag, put it out by your mailbox, and it's done. You've donated. You're helping somebody else. Super easy to do.
Mail carriers are used to leaving the items at the door. Now they're going back with a bigger load than they came to the door with, and over the course of a day, they'll be at every home in the region. So like you mentioned, just a quick way to help fill the warehouses at Second Harvest Food Bank. We get into the summertime. We talk many times about the difficulties for some families this time of year.
Yes.
When everybody's not together as much. And so looking forward to that. So be sure to put that can of food out for the letter carriers tomorrow.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Woolly Days Festival.
Woolly Bully.
The Woolly Bully.
Do you know who sang that song?
I do not. Who sang?
Do.
Oh,
Sam
Murray?
the Sham and the Pharaohs.
Yeah, I was just
sang
about,
Woolly Bully.
I was
just
just about to
FYI.
say. Me and Casey had just looked at each other. We were both about to say that. But
I know. It was on the tip of your tongue.
yeah,
Of
yeah.
I
course.
know.
Well,
When you have
I
a
am
father,
very impressed.
thank you. You have a father who used to DJ oldies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a whole other story, though. But I'm very familiar with 50s and 60s music, and
I
Sam the
am
Sham
sure
and the Pharaohs.
that
Just
is. And I
FYI.
didn't know that about your father either.
Yes.
You used to
Yeah.
spin the tunes.
Yeah. Back then it was cassettes, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You see him in the Midwest at graduations, weddings, anniversary parties, or whatever. He and his buddy.
Did you ever get to go along with
Oh,
him?
yeah. I helped set up. I helped tear down. Danced a little bit in between. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That and his law enforcement career,
I was about
And you can throw out obscure 1960s rock and roll tunes here
Exactly.
60 years later,
Yeah.
which is a bonus.
learned
Yes.
so much lore now. So that I did not. All I knew about Sarah's dad was that he was a sheriff, right?
Yes. Yes, he was.
Man of
Which
many
makes it even
talents.
better.
Yeah.
Which makes it, it was the most well-behaved wedding reception anybody in Eastern Iowa
Yeah.
ever attended.
And his buddy was a police officer with the city police. So we had the sheriff and a city police officer. So yeah.
Up
no
there
one
on the
really did
DJ
anything.
stand,
Yeah.
everybody have a good time, but not too good a time.
Exactly.
Oh, that's why you have to tune in every Friday
I know.
because
I
you
know.
learn so much.
Keeping it legal.
Just keep
Keeping it legal.
and real.
Anyway, Woolly Days. Sorry, we got way off the
Way
tracks on that one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
But
Woolly
we're
Days.
back now.
Yep.
Tomorrow, 10 to 5, Rocky Mount State Historic Site in Piney Flats, this yearly tradition, the Woolly Days Festival, historical reenactments.
Mm-hmm.
Our region is full of history. If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
new, perhaps this is your first spring and summer, make sure you make a date for any of these reenactments, these history tours that our region provides, because they are worth every second of it.
So
Music,
cool.
food, vendors, it's all part of Woolly Days coming up this weekend in Piney Flats. They're at Rocky Mount State Historic Site. You can't miss it, right off the highway.
Beautiful facility there. And if you want to go to Flag Pond, because this weekend or tomorrow, I guess, is the Ramp Festival. Ramps, I never knew anything about ramps until I moved here 20 some years ago. Not dating myself there, but they're going to have fried ramps and potatoes, soup, beans, cornbread, dessert. You can learn a lot more about ramps. The question came up, and I didn't know. I'm sure someone will school me, though. I heard that ramps and wild onions are different. That is like a different plant. But anyway, but the Flag Pond Ruritan Club is going to benefit from this festival. Saturday, starting at 11 o'clock on the Old Asheville Highway in Flag Pond.
I am not familiar with ramps. I've never had a ramp, and I'm like you. I've never
Yep.
heard of them. But for those that know, they say they're delicious.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I've never tried one. But I'm not a big fan of onion, like a very strong
Okay.
onion, and I've heard that that's what they taste like.
Okay.
So
Like not even an onion, but a strong onion.
that's what I've heard. So the smell, I'm like, okay, and I'll try anything once, food wise. Sure, I'll try it just to say I've tried a ramp. But
So according to a very quick Google search
Yes.
over here, it looks as if ramps are a species of wild leek.
oh, a
So they are
leek.
not technically, they are
Okay.
cousins of wild onions, but they do have a very distinct difference between them. So little difference there. I'm sure they
Okay.
probably have a little bit of different taste.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so wild onions and ramps are different because ramps are leaks. Or a
You know
type
who
of leek.
our resident ramp guy is here?
Who's that?
Meteorologist Jared Sellers.
Oh,
Has very familiar with ramps. Allegedly grows ramps on the family property in Western North Carolina.
Did not know that.
So, perhaps as we get into the summer, would have been a nice resource to pick his
Yeah.
brain
Yeah.
about the Ramp
He
Festival.
can bring some and we
coming
can
on,
try
and
them.
we can try them.
Maybe
So-
not raw. Maybe.
and not on camera live either. We're
Yeah.
not gonna try that. Here's something though. Here's something I'm
Woohoo!
familiar with. Monster trucks.
Yes.
Love those monster trucks. They're at Bristol Motor Speedway this weekend. Gates open at 2:00 at the Speedway, and everybody loves monster trucks.
Listen, I don't know about your son, but I know Jackson, when he was little, loved the monster trucks, loved watching them. He had the little monster trucks. We had all the monster trucks in our house and watched them all the time. I don't know if you guys did too.
We did.
Yeah.
We never missed a show when the kids were younger. And
Yes.
Trey, I had a chance to drive a monster truck years ago,
You're
back in my
kidding.
sporting days.
Yes.
And they would not let me. I got to drive around the infield.
Okay. Was
And
this
it was
Speedway?
all set up at
Yeah.
Bristol Motor Speedway. And it was all set up. They had the ramps and they had the car,
the ramps,
mountains.
the ramps is in
the
piece
real
of equipment,
ramps.
not the
Not the
wild
vegetable
leeks.
ramp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But they wouldn't let me drive over them. I couldn't drive over the cars. I couldn't drive up the ramps. They just let me drive around. But it's still fun. It's a cockpit like a race car.
Right, right.
So there's not a lot of freedom in there, and we're buckled in. But still, a lot of horsepower and big tires and big fun going on at Bristol Motor
Oh
Speedway.
yeah,
this
when they
weekend.
catch air, it's so
pretty
much fun to
amazing.
watch. Yeah.
And pretty scary at times too.
Yeah, when they roll.
Yeah, that's
And
a
flip?
long way down
Yeah.
from how high they are.
well,
Yeah.
I actually have a confession to make. Despite having multiple monster truck toys as a kid growing up, never saw a actual monster truck rally until I moved here and went and saw them at the Appalachian Fair.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah, it was my first time ever seeing them in action.
Did you like it?
Oh, it was a blast. Yeah, I mean, the Appalachian Fair is always fun no matter what, but getting to just like it is there's nothing that prepares you for how loud they are in
That's
person.
true. You got to put the ear protection in. Randy Moore, who is from Bristol,
Yes.
owned War Wizard, who was one, on that circuit. And I got to interview him once years and years and years ago. And he's so nice, showed me around the garage, and a lot goes into those monster trucks. A lot of money, a lot of work hours.
Innovation. Yeah,
And
to
innovation,
keep
yeah.
them going. And
Yep.
one of my favorite parts about the monster trucks is the drivers are so talented. They each have their own tricks. They have their own things they do well.
Yes.
Truly, you hear the car's the star, and in monster trucks more than any other sport entertainment, because
Yeah.
they can do incredible things
Yes.
behind the wheel as well. Elizabethan Free Food Pantry coming up this weekend. Free groceries, produce, pastries, staples. It'll all be there and available tomorrow at 9:00 in the morning. So
Mhm.
giving back to the community there
Yes.
in Elizabethton.
That's wonderful. At the high school there. Easy.
So 9:00, that is on Jason Witten Way. You can't miss it, right there on the highway.
Yeah. That's a full weekend.
It sure is.
Full weekend of events.
Just
so
like
pick one,
ours.
pick two,
Yeah.
We can do them all.
You guys think you might go to any of those? Might try to get to some music on the square tonight, Casey?
It's on my work hours. Back at my morning shift,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
really easy
Yeah,
to
you
get
could go
down
on a
to.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I will pass by on my way home for dinner. I'll roll the window down
Yeah.
and catch a listen tonight. The cruise in tomorrow's got my eye.
Yeah.
And
The food truck junction has mine, but of course we're working at
Yeah.
that point because it's today. So I can't make it. But see, I'm dangerous around those food truck junctions because I want to go visit every one of them. You have to go with a group, and each of you have to split up, scatter, and go to different places, and then you bring everything back together. Then you can try all the different ones.
that's
Because
the
that's
best
what
way
I
to
would
do it.
want to do.
We have started in on graduation as well. Tomorrow in Jonesboro,
Yes.
I'm going to throw this out, a little self-aggrandizement, if you don't mind.
Absolutely,
The
go
senior
ahead.
class of 2025 at David
Woohoo!
Crockett High School is going to have their little parade where the seniors get in their cars
Love
and they just
it.
parade down Main Street. So
Oh,
that's going to fill my
fun.
weekend. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Class
Yeah.
of 2025. What a odd thing to think about.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
Trust.
Uh-huh. It happens fast, though, doesn't it,
It really
Sarah?
does. Everybody's like, "Oh, don't blink! It'll be here before you know it." And I was like, "Ah, whatever." And here we are,
Here we
both of
are.
us with children.
Yeah.
And our babies,
Yes.
are
So
graduating.
Maddie graduates in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Even next week.
Yep.
And that is that. We'll put the little high school career to bed.
I know.
Yeah, y'all are going to be empty nesters.
I know.
I know.
You guys didn't
We
seem all that
did
upset about
we did
that.
in the softest way.
Right. Let's try that again. Oh, no.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah,
Yeah, use that track.
Yeah, you
use that one.
Yeah,
you really sold it. Yeah, I hate to tell you that we're live, unfortunately.
Oh,
Rats.
too bad.
Yeah.
Well, good times had by all. Murray, thank
Yes.
you
Yeah, of
as
course.
well. Sarah, have
Thanks,
a great
Murray.
weekend.
Thank
Happy
you very
Mother's
much.
Day.
Happy Mother's Day
Enjoy.
to everybody out there who are the mothers, aunts, or just mother figures. You're all recognized, and we love you.
And we will see you next Friday right here on WJHL Plus for another weekend preview. Have a
Can't
good
wait.
weekend.